These are the plaintiffs, Nicole and Ryan Charpentier. They say they spent 5 days on their hands and knees cleaning the apartment they were vacating. And despite all that hard work, the defendant refuses to refund their full security deposit. An altercation ensued. The defendant's son ended up punching Ryan. So here they are, embroiled in one big fat mess of a lawsuit. They're suing for $1,150, the amount they're owed. This is the defendant, Tracy. She says she was willing to return most of their security, but the hot-headed plaintiffs demanded all of it or nothing. The place was clean, all right, but what they don't tell you is there were broken windows, pet damages, and other little things that need to be fixed. She can't believe a fistfight broke out over all of this and is just happy to have her day in court to prove she's in the right. She's accused of not giving in.
Douglas, Nicole and Ryan Charpentier?
Yes.
All right, you were suing Tracy. You've asked us not to use your last name, and we'll respect that, for $1,150 security deposit that you say she is wrongfully withholding from you. Tell me what's going on.
In November of 2009, we decided to move back to New York. So.
And what's the relationship between you two?
We're married.
Okay.
And after that, you know, I asked my mother-in-law, Jill, to find us an apartment. She did. We lived there for a year, always paid rent on time. And when we decided to move out, it was because we believed it was an illegal apartment.
Really, or you just found something about it?
I'm sorry?
When did you find out it was an illegal apartment?
When we called the cable company.
Which was in the beginning?
No, it was more towards the end. Our cable was shut off because apparently, I think it was her brother had been messing around with the wires in the basement.
Okay.
And our cable was cut off.
So you called the cable company and they told you?
First, we actually called Tracy several times.
Okay.
Asking her to fix the cable just to figure out with the wires.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
did she live there too or no? In the same?
She lived in the house. We lived in the garage.
Okay.
Okay. So we did that.
Okay, so you find out by the cable man
Yes.
that living in a garage was probably illegal? That like the whole garage thing wasn't like a big old red flag to the two of you?
Well, it's actually a very nice garage.
Exactly. See, that's my point. It didn't matter that it was illegal. It was a nice place to live at a reasonable rent that you liked. So,
well,
and anyway, look, so you decide to leave. Let's get to the security deposit and what happens? Notice isn't an issue in this case, right?
No, we gave
Okay. So you do the walkthrough. Tell me about what happens at the walkthrough.
Well, when we did the walkthrough, my wife was not there. She had insisted on we wait for her son.
Is this the son?
No, my older son.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not here. And we did the walkthrough, and it feels like she was just nitpicking everything. Every hole in the wall, every...
How many holes were in the wall?
I mean, it was just little nails.
You mean like the little nail?
Little nail holes.
Okay.
She said it was going to cost a lot of money to repair those. And then she informs me that we have to pay out of our security deposit to have her wires in her house, or the cable, rewired so that she can get cable back into the apartment. Okay, because you skipped something
here. When you talked to the cable company, did you pay them to rewire?
No.
Okay, so you just stayed without cable?
For a little while.
Why is there a rewiring necessary? Did cable rip out wires?
That's exactly what I wanted to know, why the house needed to be rewired. My only assumption is that she wanted to get the illegal cable back into the apartment.
Right, but who took the illegal cable out of the apartment?
The cable company.
The cable company. So you know that the cable company ripped out some illegal cable wire.
I guess, yes.
And then so she wanted you to pay to have the illegality reinstated.
Yes.
Okay, go on. Did she mention anything else?
Not to my knowledge.
Did she ever mention anything about damages to a window?
Yes.
What did she say about the window?
There was a hinge that was broke on the window.
Okay. Did she say that was your fault?
It was our fault.
Okay. How did the broken hinge
I don't know, just by turning it, it just broke off.
Okay, so why are you calling it your fault?
Because I turned it.
Okay, okay, but if you were using it in the way that it was intended,
yes,
it's not really your fault.
It's preventative maintenance, I guess.
It happened on your watch, for sure, while you were there, But did you do something to it? Were you breaking in from the outside?
No, absolutely not.
Were you, were you sitting on it to watch TV because they were out of seats in your place?
No.
Okay. All right. Did you ever tell her about it before?
No.
Before? All right. So what was it that she said? Apparently things got nasty at this walkthrough.
Yes.
What was it that she said that caused things to get nasty?
Well, at the point when she said that I had to pay the $600 for the rewiring of her house, I started to get a little angry.
Okay.
And some names were called.
To who?
I called some names to Tracy.
You called her some names?
Yes.
And the son didn't like that?
No. So he kind of got into my face, at which point I pushed him, and he came back at me with a punch.
Okay. What did you expect him to do while you were calling his mother
I know.
a blank?
I hear you.
What did you call her?
I called her landlord.
Oh, I thought it was going to be juicier than that.
No.
I mean, I was waiting for some big,
Okay, it wasn't that bad.
All right, now in the scheme of things, I guess.
There were a lot of things said.
There were. What did he call you? We'll bleep it. I just want to know.
Oh, and
Yeah, that's what I was expecting to hear. Did you say that?
I do not think so. No, I did not.
You don't think so? Okay, that's the answer I need. All right, because I would sort of know if that came out of my mouth.
So who takes advantage of who more? Do landlords take advantage of tenants more or vice versa?
I think landlords take, they take
Advantage?
thank you. They take advantage of tenants more.
Why do you say?
I just think that they feel that they have more rules, or
They're in control. I got it. Eddie, what do you think?
I think it's the tenants take advantage of the landlords. It's simply a numbers game. There's more votes by the tenants than the landlords.
Got your point there, too, going inside the courtroom.
All right, what's going on? There's an $1,150 deposit. What's going
their
on?
mom can't, okay, just to get to that. When we did the walkthrough, everything was very clean. My issue was the broken windows.
Okay, broken windows. How many windows?
2.
Okay, what was broken about the windows?
When you crank the window open, not the crank that you use, but the bar that attaches to the window so that it does open,
Right.
both of those were broken, but because he had actually admitted to me that he kept getting locked out. He had come to me for the key. I gave him my key. I never had another copy made. He asked my son another time he got locked out, please take me up to Nicole so I can get the key from her, but had told us that he had gone through the window once.
Okay,
I
he
didn't
told
inspect,
who that?
Yes, I didn't
He
inspect
told
the
who
windows.
that?
Myself. He admitted to having to break in, pry them open, and you can see on the little piece of the outside where they were pried
Can I see
open
it?
to get in. I don't actually have, oh, you probably, no, I don't know if you can on this. I have the actual photos, and you want the copy also that I made?
I
Maybe
want
could see
anything
it
you have
better.
to prove the damage to the window. So any
Okay.
proof you have of any of it, whether it's the estimate to get it repaired, everything that you have on
okay.
that,
I
I'd
have
like
more
to see.
than-
Did you break in through the window in order to get in when you forgot your key?
No.
She says you told her you did.
It's complete fabrication.
It's too high.
The window is pretty high. I wouldn't be able to climb up it anyways.
You say I'm going to see prying of it from the outside?
You're not going to see it on the picture. No, I
well,
only
that's
took.
where I need to see it.
I know.
Because
I only took
otherwise,
the
then we're
picture
back to
of-
the crank thing.
I only took the picture of the hinge. The
Right,
crank
but
itself.
what is it that the hinge is off of the crank? What is the problem?
When you crank the window open,
Right.
it's like from point A to point B, there's that metal bar that you
Right.
can see in there.
Right.
That is totally detached from the window, so you can't crank the windows
Well, why doesn't
anymore.
it just get repaired and attached to the window? It's not like you can't fix the
Right,
part.
and I did.
So-
I had it fixed.
Okay, and that's what you say
I
was
never-
600 and something dollars?
No, for whatever the bill is, $488.
Out of curiosity, why, if what you're laying claim to is $488.81, why hasn't the rest of it been sent to them?
Because then it got into threatening conversations. I'm going to sue you. There was a message
Is
from.
this when the fist fight happens?
No, well, this was after. I had gotten a phone call from the mom
What happened at the
threatening to
fist fight?
turn me in. It wasn't a big, huge brawl. It was my son actually respectfully took Ryan by his elbow and he said, Ryan, I mean, my children have no problems with them. Said, Ryan, please don't curse at my mom. Why don't you wait outside? Let my mother and I discuss this.
And then?
And that's when he started cursing me out, and he shoved Christopher. And when he shoved Christopher, Christopher went back at him.
And hit him, and then what
And
happened?
then the two of them just started fighting.
So
and
then there was a
he
fist
was
fight.
here to break it up.
Okay, and you're the breaker-upper? Come on up.
I'm the breaker-upper.
Okay, I'm sort of curious because I like, how did it end? And what did they do and say to each other?
It ended, I walked Ryan to his car, and he was like, He told me he had no problems with me, but he hates my brother, and that's pretty much how it ended.
Okay, and then did anybody call the police?
Yeah, he waited at the end of the block and he called the police.
All
And
right,
I
what did the
also
police
did.
end up doing?
Nothing, they just said,
Calmed
it's
everybody down?
a small dispute. They wrote down a docket number, and if you wanted to get a copy of the report.
Okay, let us say that somebody pried the window open. How would that cause that mechanism to detach from the window?
That's
Like, in other words,
what
I'm going to
thinking,
go with your
force
theory,
to-
because that's the
force
only thing
to
that would
get
make
in.
it his, yeah, but
I really don't know. All I can go by, honestly, is what was said to me, that he had to
yeah,
climb
he
in.
denies having said that to you
I
ever.
know.
He never, he says, I never told my landlord that I, broke into a window.
He didn't come to me and say he pried the window, just that he had to climb in the window to get, because he kept locking himself out. It was more than one occasion he kept locking out. That
What's
my
funny?
older,
Why would you keep locking yourself out?
It happens.
Why does it happen?
I used to smoke a lot, and out of habit,
Which was
I would lock the door behind me
Without a key?
sometimes.
Why
And
would,
that's when
why
I
would
get
that be a
locked out.
habit, to lock a door without a key when you're smoking outside and have to get back
That's
in?
why we had given her the key to the apartment just in case that had happened.
Okay, so there's truth to the theory that you gave her the key to the apartment. You keep knocking on her door to get the key to the apartment every time you kept
I
doing it?
did a few times.
Okay, it's starting to not sound so crazy that you might have gone in through a window at some point.
Okay.
How high is this window? You said it was really high, but I'm looking
I
at the
would
picture.
say about 5.5 feet, 6 feet.
I don't think so. I'm looking at the chair that's next to it. How high is the window?
I can see, if I go like this, I can see into the window, so I'm only 5'2".
It's about eye level for my wife.
What's the chair doing next to the window? There's a chair like 6 feet from the window. All right, here's where we are, folks. A lot of times what I do is hunch, because in a civil case, the burden of proof is by a preponderance of the evidence. The plaintiff comes in, the plaintiff has to prove their case. And then when the defense has a defense to it, they have the burden of proof on their issue. You have the burden of proving to me that he broke the window. And I sort of feel like you did. And I know that I'm surprising you because moments ago I was talking like I didn't feel it. But then there were just a couple of things. I'm constantly getting locked out. I'm constantly having to bother them to get access back in. The fact that when you were testifying here, you started off with, yeah, I broke the window. And that's enough. It's not proof to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt, like a criminal case. It's just what's more likely than not. And my gut is telling me that whether it's through prying it open to get in when you forgot your key or some other way, you feel like you broke the window. What I don't understand is why do we end up in a fist fight and a lawsuit if that was the only issue?
That's what I don't
And I tend to
understand.
think that while you're standing there, you're nitpicking about this other thing you're going to keep money for and this other thing you're kind of going to keep money for. And that's when, it shouldn't have happened anyway, but that's when things like broke down where a reasonable resolution would have been that they get back the $661.19 that is remaining on their security deposit. So I'm going to allow you to withhold the amount for the windows because I think you did break the window. And I'm going to order you to return to the plaintiffs $661.19. Verdict to the plaintiffs.
Well, the judge does not allow the landlord to keep the entire security deposit. What's your feeling about giving him back part of that money now?
I'm happy he's getting what's owed to him.
How you often fight with your
Never.
tenants? How did that degenerate into a fist fight? How come you couldn't be
I have no
civil
idea.
about it?
It was
were
very
there.
civil until the window issue came up, and he did not feel that he should have to pay for the windows that I believe he broke, that he said he broke.
And it escalated. He escalated it. You guys didn't escalate it over there. You were there.
Yeah, he shoved my brother, and then my brother retaliated back at him. But I would say, yeah, he escalated it.
Thank
All
you.
right, right down this way. All right, so come on in here. You broke the windows, says the judge, but you do get some of your security back. So how's that sit with you?
I still feel that it is not a fair call. I did not break the windows, except for how I said I did.
All right, over to Harvey.
You need to know pictures are critical. When you move in, take pictures. When you move out, take pictures. And that goes for the landlord and the tenant. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.